Welcome back to the Foria channel. Today, we are talking about cycle syncing and how to work with your menstrual cycle for optimal well-being. The hormonal changes that your body undergoes each month affect nearly every aspect of your life. And if you have a period, you already know this. So we're used to looking at this through the lens of our period or PMS, but you might not know that the rest of the month is also part of your cycle and it impacts how you feel. So in this video, we're going to explore the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle, the hormones that govern your cycle, and how to adjust your daily habits during these different phases of your cycle so you can optimize your well-being, which is a practice known as cycle syncing. So what is cycle syncing? There are 4 distinct phases of the menstrual cycle that reflect natural hormonal fluctuations and alter your body's requirements for nutrition, for sleep, exercise, and even will alter your sex drive. Cycle syncing is this practice of using these 4 distinct hormonal phases of your cycle as a guide to giving your body what it needs in terms of nutrition, exercise, lifestyle choices, and self-care so that you feel really good. When you practice cycle syncing, you adapt your daily habits to these different phases to optimize your well-being. The hormones and their roles in the menstrual cycle. You can imagine the menstrual cycle is like this symphony of hormones, each playing an important role in creating beautiful and impactful piece of music. And there are a few key hormones that play a role in your cycle and how you feel. So there's estrogen, there's progesterone, there's follicle stimulating hormone known as FSH, and there's luteinizing hormone known as LH, and testosterone. These 4 phases of the menstrual cycle deal with these hormones and the way they fluctuate. So the first phase is the menstrual phase. On average, this is about 1 to 5 days, day 1 through 5 of your cycle. Menstruation is the beginning of the menstrual cycle. So it's during this phase that your estrogen and progesterone drop, causing your body to shed the uterine lining. And that is what we call your period. Phase 2 is known as your follicular phase. So on average, this is days 6 to 14. And this is when estrogen really takes the lead and your energy levels rise. So you might start to notice that your energy levels increase, your testosterone is also rising at this time, and that combination gives you more energy. This is when creativity or productivity increase, and so you might notice that your energy levels really do increase during the follicular phase. The third phase is the ovulatory phase, and this is on average day 14. And ovulation is this critical moment in your cycle. It's typically around day 14. It could be a little bit later than that if you have a longer cycle. And this is when fertility is at its peak. So during this time, you might feel like your sex drive is higher than other phases of your cycle, like your energy levels are at their peak. And then the 4th phase is the luteal phase. And on average, this is roughly day 15 to 28. So it's the longest phase of the cycle. And this is when progesterone starts to dominate. As progesterone dominates, estrogen and testosterone start to decline, along with your LH and your FSH. And this means you may experience mood shifts and physical discomfort. This is typically the time when symptoms of PMS start to show up, especially during the later half of the luteal phase, such as mood changes and body changes. And cycle syncing is really taking all of the needs that your body has and plugging it in so that you feel your best. So we're going to talk about phase 1. What should we do during phase 1 for optimal well-being? The menstrual phase, so your physical needs during this time. Traditionally, during menstruation, it's a time of rest and release. So your uterus is physically heavier than normal and it's larger than during the other phases of your cycle. So resting is super encouraged on your period, especially if you have cramps or you feel tired. In terms of movement, gentle movements during the days can look like yin yoga, could look like gentle stretching, warm Epsom salt baths. And your nutritional needs during this time are a little bit different too. So things that are easier to digest, like warming foods, soups, mineral-rich bone broths or soup broths, and things that warm you and that are really nourishing. Iron-rich food is also super important because of the blood loss. So anything rich in iron to support your blood levels, and also magnesium-rich food will really help you support your cramps. The self-care theme during this time: cat naps, bed girl days, journal in your dreams, relish in the joy of being alone, and enjoy your rest. Phase 2, your follicular phase, your physical needs. So with energy levels on the rise, this is a great time for high intensity workouts like cardio or strength training. You might be feeling a little more social. So a group class that challenges you and lets you connect with others is a really great option. Your nutritional needs during this time: nutrient-dense foods like lean protein, pastured eggs, whole grains, dark leafy greens, fermented foods to support your digestion, and healthy fats like olive oil or ghee. And your self-care theme here is be a social butterfly. Try new things, have a tea party, go out and dance. You'll likely be feeling just like Like, you want to have a lot more fun during this time. So go spend it out time connecting with your friends. Phase 3, ovulatory phase. It's a short phase, but on average, this happens on day 14. And your physical needs here is because your energy is peaking during this time, it's a great time to do those high intensity workouts. As I mentioned, strength training. If you do want to get pregnant, this is your window. And if you're trying to not have a baby, this is also your window that you really need to be cautious and using protection and fertility awareness method. Your nutritional needs during your ovulation, this is an optimal time to increase your healthy omega-3 fat intake, whether that's through healthy fish, or nuts or seeds, fresh fruit, super important, crunchy vegetables, and lighter complex carbohydrates like millet or quinoa or amaranth, all really good options. Your self-care theme during this time, you are the full moon, so shine bright. Everyone wants to be near your magic, your magnetic, plant your seeds of intention, have lots of juicy sex with caution if you don't want to have a baby, and enjoy yourself. For phase 4 of the cycle, the luteal phase, on average, again, is day 15 through 28. Your physical needs. You've probably heard the term luteal as a way to refer to PMS. So this is the time of the month where you will need that extra care and you experience a bigger change in your mood, such as bloating or premenstrual cramping. So remember that lots is happening hormonally during the luteal phase, and you want to opt for gentle, calming exercises for discomfort, for alleviating any cramps, anything like that. Particularly during the later half of the luteal phase, you want to slow down your strength training. Try switching to yoga or swimming or walking, more gentle exercise. Your nutritional needs change as well. So incorporate magnesium-rich foods like dark chocolate and leafy greens. Those will really help with cramps in the future cycle, in the future period you're about to get. And they also support your relaxation, your sleep, your mood, and your mood stability. Foods that are really high in vitamin B are really helpful during this phase as well. Pastured lean meats, lentils are a great source of that. And you want to keep up your healthy fat intake. Your self-care theme during this time is just becoming the queen of self-care, organizing your life, enjoying long walks, relishing in being wise, the wisdom of your body, and the permission to watch Netflix and hide if you need to. Practice that self-compassion, mindfulness, and navigate your mood fluctuations with ease. All phases of your cycle are magic, and your cycle itself is magic. And even when it doesn't feel like it, it's great to connect with your body as a part of nature, as these phases are a form of your own internal seasons. So when we choose to support our bodies with extra care, we get to be more familiar with our bodies in ways we can support our hormones as they fluctuate. And it's much more likely that we'll feel balanced and that our cycle will be more enjoyable. If you loved and learned something from this video, please share it, like it, subscribe to the Foria channel, and give us feedback about what you want to learn more of.